the Crimson Tide are not out of this yet. They're currently the number 6 team in the country. Alabama, LSU, one of the most storied rivalries in the sport. Weird things can happen in Death Valley. Hack, you made the joke earlier in the show. We can't believe LSU is 10th in the country. Do you think LSU stands a chance?
I'll tell you why, and I stand on this mountain, and I'm going to give all the credit to my other podcast mate, Joshua Perry. This was a straight up save Alabama's season game. If they come out and they beat this LSU team, now you can make the argument that Bama just beat a top 10 LSU team at LSU. Coming off this, no matter what happens, it's going to now create a little bit more friction heading into this, where you can start making the argument that Bama is a top 4 team again. That's kind of my conspiracy theory that Joshua Perry laid out, and I'm on board with it a little bit, because I don't think that this is a top 10 LSU team. And to your point, I think after you got past 8, they were kind of like, fuck it. Who's got the coolest shit? Who's got the best jerseys? Who's got the, like, I think they kind of just started doing that. And that's why I think there was a little bit more of a motivation to get LSU up there, is to save some Alabama face here if they go in and do what Alabama should do against this team.
So given all that, do you expect this to be a game at all, or do you expect this to be a Bama statement, run them out the gym?
No, I think it'll be a game, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's got the potential to be one of those games where it might be back and forth for 2 quarters, 2.5, 3 quarters, maybe, and then you start seeing Bama outlast them in the 4th.
Okay, Darien, what do you think?
I was looking at the rankings, kind of going past. Like, they lost to Florida State early. They obviously got beat really bad by Tennessee. And it's like, they did just beat Ole Miss. UCLA.
But Ole Miss doesn't have a quarterback, man. Like, Ole Miss has been running that side of the thing, and nothing against Jackson Dart, but Lane Kiffin has done a really good job of manufacturing offense through that kid.
Yeah. And the only team you really could put above them, like, I'm looking at everything, like, because Kansas State just lost. Like, at least they just came off a big win. Utah's, Penn State, Illinois just can't do that. UNC, people need to stop sleeping on UNC. Drake May is a baller. Let's just go and put that out there.
Illinois is a 1-loss team.
Yeah, but it's U of I.
Illinois is a 1-loss team.
Yeah, but it's U of I. I mean, I don't dislike. The only team I would have possibly put over them would be UCLA, because they've had a good year. But yeah, I mean, I don't like it. Like I said, let's just be real on this pod. Look, this is for, we need ratings, we need money. I like a top 10 game. Let's hype it up as much as possible. Let's see if LSU can live up to the hype, because they have it for sure since Joe Burrow. I mean, I like it. Like, I like it, because to me, it only builds into the narrative of, like, I want to see this epic, ballsy decision by this committee when you have an Alabama that will be 12-1 if they win the SEC championship, a 1-loss whoever else, and a 1-loss whoever else. I want to see them make that decision. Like, and I'm glad I'm done playing, because my success no longer plays into that. But I want to see them make that decision, and I want to see them stand on it. Who are the best 4 teams? And then I want to see that happen. So, look, this plays into that narrative. So, look, LSU number 10, let's do it. Go get a big W down in Death Valley, which I think I just can't see them hanging on. Like, they just been very sporadic. Obviously, be Ole Miss, but I can't see them hanging on for 4 quarters of Bama. I feel like it'll be a pretty, like, so I feel like it'd be a pretty defining win, like 2 or 3 scores for sure.
So I'm obligated to be the guy on the show who plays devil's advocate when we all seem to come to a consensus here. So I'm going to do that. I've pushed all year that this Alabama team might not be Alabama-y enough for me, right? Like, and yeah, I think it's fair at this point to say they're not. But what was it that Texas A&M and Texas were able to do? And those were 2 totally different games, 2 teams that play totally different brands of football. Right, but did we learn something from seeing Alabama come so close to the edge of losing to one of those 2 teams that could apply to LSU in a formula that could allow LSU to win this game? Hack, what do you think?
They have Bryce Young.
Right. Look, right. That's kind of that's my answer. They got he back.
They have Bryce Young, and they have a defense that doesn't. Their defense, it's not a traditional Alabama defense. They have some great players, but they're not playing together as well as they have. The back half, especially, has been really,
especially the back.
Yeah, it's been really porous. Got some really good fucking words coming out tonight.
To be fair, while you're searching for the right words, to be fair, they had Bryce Young against Texas.
No, and they won the game. They don't have 9 back there.
I agree. To me, that's been
So that to narrative, me, like heading into this, like having him is what Devonta Smith and Calvin Ridley and all the quarterback, kind of like Jalen Hurts, even Tua to a degree, was kind of like the Robin to every other Batman. Even though they were very talented themselves, they still had a lot of this. Like, this is Bryce Young's football team, and they're going to go as far as Bryce Young takes them. He has Jahmyr Gibbs, who helps, but everything runs through 9. So to me, like if I'm sitting here looking at this game, if it's close for whatever reason, I'm taking number 9. That's it.
Yeah. I think if I'm a coach, if I'm the head coach down at LSU, here's what I think you give the psyche of this game. I think you definitely have some. I don't know if it's a facade or not, because obviously Alabama's kind of went through some stuff this year with like losing Bryce, kind of figuring that situation out, and obviously losing games early on, which is not typical of them. But I don't feel like LSU should be afraid, because you definitely see Alabama like definitely show weaknesses. Whether with Bryce Young, without Bryce Young, they don't look unbeatable. Like they got him beat. And honestly, the Texas game, if Quinn Ewers don't get hurt, like Bryce Young he's good, but if Quinn Ewers don't get hurt, I would love to see what happens, because they might have said that
as well.
They might be 6-2 sitting right here right now and out of the top 15.
Yeah.
They might have been fighting for that. They might have been at 10 right now. It might have been the 10 ranked game and 11th ranked game. That could have been the story of this LSU Bama game. So I think LSU definitely the psyche of this game, and they're playing at home. I think Bama's a better team, but I just feel like LSU could come out. They got to come out early and establish something. Like, I don't really know what they're going to establish, but whatever they do, I feel like if they can make it kind of this game where the belief can be there, where either it's close or they're winning the game, I feel like it wouldn't be crazy to see like Bama fall. I don't know. Like, I mean, who's to say? I didn't think they were going to fall against Texas, and Texas was unranked at the time, right? I'm pretty sure they were unranked. Arkansas, that was a ranked game. That was they kind of struggled right there in the first half and overcame. And then they lost to Tennessee with Bryce Young. And so they're definitely not unbeatable. They're not the big bad Bama, but they still are Bama. So that's kind of where I land on that. I see them winning this game, but LSU should definitely go into the game believing they can win.
Yeah, they're not big bad Bama. It kind of reminds me of when you're a little kid growing up and you keep playing basketball one-on-one in the driveway with your dad, and you're just like, can't get him. All of a sudden, one day, 10 years later, you're in a tight game, right? You hit him with that little side to side, and all of a sudden, you got a 2-point lead for the first time. You're looking like that's still dad, right? Like, I'm just saying, like we've seen a lot of Bama on the ropes with one drive left to go in the game, and I think they're a little bit fortunate to be where they're at right now. Death Valley at night against a quote unquote top 10 team in a rivalry game with some emotions on the line. It's got my attention. That's all I'm saying. And final question to you, Hack, and then we can move on to Darian's Clemson team here. From a conversation you and I had a couple weeks back, you're the Detroit Lions, who are going to have the number 1 pick in the draft. Tomorrow, you've got a game. You starting Aiden O'Connell or are you starting Bryce Young?
Yeah, I'm still starting Aiden O'Connell.
Okay.
I told you I'd die on that mountain.
I was just checking because you threw a lot of compliments Bryce's way there, and I didn't know if that had shifted.
I love Bryce Young. I love CJ Stroud. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those guys.
Okay. Good to know. All right, let's go to Clemson. By the way, again, we do need to do the quick check-in. If you listen to us on the Sirius XM app, we see you. We appreciate you. You can watch us on the video version on the Field of 12 YouTube channel. Please click subscribe while you are over there. We are brought to you by Bet Rivers.